Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What it move, what it move, what it move.
What it move? Community Monday. Let's go.
Cowmoonity Mondays.
Community Monday.
You know. Um, well, we today we're gonna talk SCAMager, aka Voyager. Uh hit play the theme.
Let's do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cowmoonity Mondays. Today, let me take this reverb off. Today we're gonna be talking about Voyager, and talking to some community members, some people that were very active on their platform, and just kind of shine some light as to what's going on over there. Let's see. Shout out to Antonio Booster. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah. So you know what? Let me bring in Spotted Owl. How you doing, Spotted Owl?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right.
All right, glad to hear it. I was just talking behind the scenes for those of you that don't know. I speak to El Toro very often, and I'm definitely I'm a holder of pocket cows. A lot of cows, a lot of dope cows. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so we got to talking, and I was you could tell something was on his mind, and he was. You want to kind of tell the people where you were? It's like how was your involvement with Voyager? What happened exactly?
Yeah, so when it comes to Voyager, a crypto brokerage platform, I was solely invested in that project even before it was named Voyager, when it was called Ethos, and then bought out to become this platform. I was a navigator from day one, owed at one point close to 300,000 of Voyager tokens. Um, and I supplied over 7 figures worth of USDC on their platform, in the form of USDC, in the regards of receiving a return on my liquidity provisions up to 10.5%. I had no idea that the platform was going to turn into what it is today. It felt like a honeypot situation where, being very young and not having the guidance, I did not see that a brokerage operating like a bank and offering percentages over 10%, that it wasn't a sustainable business model. I didn't question where my yield was coming from, nor did I had the knowledge that once I provided this much liquidity on their platform, that I was giving up ownership. I was insured and trusted, and learned from their CEO and the platform that my money was insured, even crypto was insured, but all that seems to be a lie. They got a cease and desist from the FDIC for stop using them as a some sort of trophy or a badge of security. And as we can see, they end up giving over to Three Arrows Capital, which is a venture capital. They end up giving them over $670 million.
What? Hold on. What? Are you serious?
Yeah, $670 million uncollateralized, so no collateral in return. Due to the Terra Luna collapse, assumingly, Three Arrows Capital was very bullish on the market, still trying to long crypto assets, end up getting liquidated, fled the country of Singapore. Their whereabouts are still unknown, and it's caused a domino effect. Galaxy Digital has lost substantial amounts. Michael Saylor has stepped down as CEO. Celsius has closed down and folded and frozen assets. And now we're looking at Voyager doing the same, filing a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So as of right now, me and about another, give or take, 3 million users globally are affected and are just watching our portfolios sit on their application with no way of withdrawing the money, no way of liquidating our positions and transferring out of the platform, and we're at their mercy. At the recent court hearing, we have the understanding of users that just had US dollar, which is very insignificant versus those that were in crypto, because there was no incentives to just sit in US dollar on their platform. Those that have US dollar, on this Thursday coming, will be able to start withdrawing up to $100,000 at a time. And it can take up to 5 to 10 business days to receive that in your bank account, or maybe longer, due to the investigation of friendly fraud, which is a bunch of users end up doing chargebacks to get their money because they felt there was no other way for them to get their money. I do not support that. I didn't do any chargebacks. All I did was provide liquidity to their platform and buy a massive amount of Voyager tokens. So as of today, I'm heartbroken. I'm getting by off of what I have in cold storage. I have a startup tech called Sensor Studio, which is a software development company, and our first product is Pocketcows. And
hold on, don't run past that, man. Let's make some noise for Pocketcows.
that's right.
Down the Mongo.
I'm very proud of what we've done so far with the NFT project. But with this type of stress, me as a leader, I have to do what's right for me and my staff. It's a domino effect. I have employees that depend on me now. So I'm doing what I can with my provisions to keep our company afloat till this gets sorted out. And hopefully we receive a white knight, somebody to bail us out, somebody to buy the company and bail us out from our situation and try to make us as whole as possible. Talking to a lot of experts that have a lot of experience with Chapter 11 bankruptcies, and actually sat across from Kirkland, which is their law firm that's protecting the Voyager platform and the board of directors, such as the CEO, Stephen Erwich. It's usually in normal scenarios, 30 to 40 cents on the dollar. I'm hearing optimism that in this case, when it's due to our cryptocurrency, that we'll be seeing higher. We can only hope. Only hope, but we're at the mercy of people in suits. And that was never the deal and what I thought this would end up being, but it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's very I'm blown away. Because when you started telling me this, I was like, how is this even possible?
Yeah.
It's kind of it just seems like a complete and total jukes. It's like, how the heck did you just run off with people's livelihoods like this? And there's no ramifications. Like it's ridiculous
at all.
We got two guests here, Spotted Owl and Jasper.
What's going on?
You guys, I don't know what happened to them. Jasper was visible just a minute ago. I don't know where Spotted Owl.
It's pretty late where Jasper is at.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, Spotted Owl. How's it going, man?
Good. I guess I think part of that, which is really unfortunate, is the earn program that Voyager offered. There was an option to opt out of it, and it didn't make, it wouldn't really make sense to do that because of all the publication that they made, saying that your stuff is safe and whatnot. So it's
I mean, El Toro told me he looked the man dead in his face and he said your money was safe.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think the company probably had good intentions, but it was like somewhere somebody just made a big mistake making that uncollateralized loan, because if you look at the positive points, the debit card was rolling out and it was working well for a lot of people. They had the licensing to expand into Europe, all these things that were on the roadmap, and despite the delays, they were starting to happen. It was like a spike strip just got thrown under the tires. And I can't say that I'm sympathetic to the company for what they did, because anybody with that type of financial background that they had should have known better.
You know better, yeah.
Exactly.
But it's unfortunate. I was a heavy investor myself. Not quite as much as El Toro, but I did put 6 figures in there, and it's tied up.
Hold on. What?
What?
6 figures.
Yeah,
And now it's just tied up. I
it's
went on the
tied up.
website yesterday, and what was that? Yesterday or day before, Toro?
Day before.
Day before yesterday, and the disclaimer that they have on the homepage is like, it's like, so imagine having your hard earned money on this platform, and then you go to the website and have to see that. I'd lose my freaking mind.
Yeah, I remember on the first when they decided to shut it down, I was at work on my lunch break, and I said that exact same thing. I'm looking down at my phone. I was like, "What?" My
Oh man.
coworkers are like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "I can't talk about this right now."
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken. I probably would have taken the rest of the day off work. I mean, I would have had to go home. Because I would probably would have broken something. Jess. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's devastating, and I just one can only hope, because at this point we're basically held hostage. Our funds, millions of people, livelihoods are at risk. People are falling behind their mortgage and their utility bills and car notes, etc., and making provisions for their families. And at this point, we have to hope that we get bailed out, bought out by somebody that wants to make us whole, or in return, in this restructuring plan of some sort, that the assets that they give us instead of what is owed to us will rise in value in years to come, if we believe that the platform will continue. A lot of
Right.
people's trust has been broken with this platform, and I feel that the more attention that we draw to it, the more likely they'll do the moral thing, the moral thing by the customers. So it looks like, but at law, the customers are the last priority in this payout structure, because they're labeled unsecured creditors,
Right.
that credit them our funds. Instead of arguing the fact of ownership, instead of arguing the fact of being a depositor, it looks like we're
Mhm.
too far gone, because there hasn't been a white knight that had enough fund to throw their own law firm in the ring. It's been more of just a restructuring thing. So,
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
that we get to that point of being made somewhat whole. And if not, I hope that the Voyager platform themselves do the right thing long term for the customers.
Yeah.
I know it's very difficult, because a lot of people that I reached out to, they have close relationships in the Voyager platform, some even directly to the CEO, and even
Mm.
some legal
So
professions and
so speaking so speaking on it is like, for them is like a no go for the most
it's
part.
kind of like a no-go, because they
Yeah.
don't know how this will go, and they don't want to be in a position where it was like, well, you were talking if things go right. So
Right.
it's a sense of panic but optimism, and people don't know where they should really stand with this. But I just want to bring to the internet and more to the globe the fact that millions of people trusted a platform and its leadership, and
Mhm.
consequences of that is that we're being punished, and that we may not see substantially 100% what we deposited.
I mean,
So
honestly, at this point, I'd be okay with 75%. Yeah, I mean, just give me something,
I feel
you
like
know?
80% and higher is a win in
Yeah.
these scenarios, because everything else we can eventually make back long term through various routes. But 30, 40 cent, 50 cent on a dollar, 60 cent on a dollar, that's robbery. It's criminal. It's
Yeah.
immoral, but it's all depends on what the judge, the honorable judge, rules in this manner, and how the U.S. views it. And these are the consequences when you take chances in cryptocurrency. You feel that it's not even as if you got hacked or compromised. You believed in a platform, and the platform is now turning out to be nothing of what you expected it to be.
Right.
And it's
Right.
hard for people were using Voyager like a bank.
Mhm.
They were using this vehicle to challenge the banking system that we're already subjected to.
Right.
And we believed in the leadership that they understood the common man, the everyday working Joe, and they were trying to give us a safe haven. People were looking at Voyager with their yieldings on these various digital assets as a safe haven through this volatile market, through this bearish market, and it hasn't seemed to be anything but that. It's actually been the worst.
Yeah, and it's to add on to that, it's kind of crazy um, how they were promoting the direct deposit and all these other types of things for debit card users. And so that I think it was July 1st was a Friday, and so people had gotten their paychecks direct deposited into the platform
Shit.
only
Oh,
for
man.
hours later for them to lock it down. And it's like, damn, I just worked a week and my money is gone, kind of thing. But
Damn.
I feel you there too, because I still am, a big part of the VGX community. I do a lot of the social media stuff for VGX Heroes, and for a long time I was like promoting it and doing giveaways and making custom shirts and things like that. Just fully involved, and so it's kind of hard now. Like, I mean, I even got my own family to open up and get on the app, and they didn't put a whole lot in, but I remember like my father texted me a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, am I able to move my stuff from Voyager to Coinbase or something like that? And I was like, damn,
I gotta have this conversation.
Yep. So I definitely get that. It's tough for people who are big promoters of it, and at this point, it's I mean, for me personally, I still believe that things will work out in our best interest. It's just not going to happen quickly, and it's just we're kind of in limbo.
Absolutely.
Do you all right, so me personally, I believe I know, but I like to always, I'm a risk mitigator, right? So when and a cost benefit calculator. So a lot of times I'll ask, in a certain situation, like, is it possible? What's the possibility and what's the probability? So are we playing with possibilities here, or you guys feel like is a high probability that you guys will be at least somewhat made whole?
There is a good chance now. We have 22 candidates that are noted in a non-disclosure agreement to be candidates to buy out the platform. Now,
Okay.
we don't know for how much. We don't know what the committee that represents the customers and Voyager will accept. We don't know any of that stuff, but we can only hope that there's 22 individual entities, parties, business fronts, whatever, that are interested in buying this platform, and we can only hope that whatever this deal looks like, it will be enough to make us whole or as near as possible to whole.
Sure.
It's definitely. And I did want to, I see Booster made a comment. I do want to address it. Like, yes, in this situation, when it comes to bankruptcy, stockholders are always last. But this is a different model because there has never been a case like this in history where you have a mixture of a brokerage that deals with cryptocurrency and has OTC ready, OTC vehicles of stock. And, I feel personally that those that will lose out on the stock long term is not comparable to those in crypto. I'm not disregarding anyone's loss. I'm not disregarding anyone's loss. But when it comes to what these digital assets will be valued in years to come, it makes you wonder who loses the most in this situation and who has the most to gain. Who's the true winner in these situations outside of the lawyers? So definitely.
Yeah, I think they have, the platform itself, the partnerships that they made, all the progress and all that stuff. It's worth something. Like,
of course,
there's a lot of companies that are lacking in those ways. I mean, even FTX, that kind of silly bid that they threw out there is, it's whatever. But you look at the FTX platform, it's kind of clunky. It's not great. And then there's other.
I enrolled on there one time and I was like, this is not my cup of tea. But it's
and then you have Robinhood, who offers stocks and some crypto. PayPal even offers a little bit of crypto. There's all these big names that are trying to dip their toes in the water a little bit, and to acquire a company like Voyager that already has done a lot of the legwork could be really good. So that's kind of where my mindset is. you know, a bigger company is just going to take all the work that they've done and make it better. Or if, you know, Voyager is able to recover the ball and keep it going, they may have to get some new directors, new management and whatnot to regain the trust of
Right.
the customers. But I think overall there is value in what they have, and it's just a matter of, you know, who's going to take it.
Got you. Hey,
Also, can you hear
oh
me?
yeah, Jasper. Yeah, you know what? I was trying to transition to you, man. How are you today?
Yo, I'm fine. How are you? Sorry, in my country, it's actually midnight right now.
Oh, okay. Damn, my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
I'm great, man. Shoot, seems to me like based on these stories, I'm doing better than most.
Yeah.
This right here, this is crazy.
Yeah. I have listened to how you guys said earlier before. In my own view, with my experience in cryptocurrency of like 6 years, I feel it's important for us to understand that when a company is gaining traction to the level in business, where there are levels to where you get to, and you observe that this business has become has international influence. Probably let's use the word global influence. So when you get to that extent, there are things you need to put in place. There are things that is why we need that. I said to some people, there is still going to be in 10 years from now, in 2 decades, there's still going to be an influence of Web 2 on Web 3. And the reason is the world cannot be completely decentralized. Do I make sense?
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
world cannot be completely decentralized.
Oh,
Why?
it'll be complete chaos.
Yeah, we need a system of people we can rely upon, people who can help us with solutions, people where we know that these people are not just intelligent, but they have some level of integrity. You understand?
Right.
It's not about wisdom. It's not about wisdom. It's not about competence. It's about their level of integrity. You know, when I feel, oh, this company is going down, going bankrupt, my would want me to, you know, put every effort to make sure it works back. Right? I've seen projects in Africa. I've seen projects in Asia that actually was actually going insolvent because of the current bear market. But the founder had to, you know, get loans, sell off assets to make sure they put the project back in stand. These are what we're going to do. So when it comes to blockchain, Web3, cryptocurrency, there are factors we need to understand. I'm sorry, Elto, I'm just listening to this. You never shared this with me. I'm very sorry, man. I'm very sorry.
Go ahead.
I never knew you invested in Voyager, right? I'm extremely sorry, right? So, Spotted Hole, I'm sorry too for listening to your experience. What's really something painful, but I believe that there is a lot ahead for us to make, right? So when it comes to crypto, right, we need to understand that there is a whole lot of impossibilities. Yeah, we know some certain level of positivity and possibilities. But when it comes to the fact that we need to understand that there is probabilities, there are things that could not work, that we want them to work, but there is high certainty that this thing might probably not work, right?
Yeah.
So we need to. I told people, the moment I have a certain level of investment I make in cryptocurrency. When I invest $5,000 and I observe I'm making profit of 20K, 10K, I pull out, invest my money in real life business.
Right.
That's what I do. Yeah, because I believe real life investments are things I can have access to, right? When during the last time the pegged USDT had issues, I lost over 16,000 USDT. I had to wait for weeks for me to recover, for myself to recover, right? So it's important for us to understand that this space, when it comes to decentralization, it's technology. They can come up with faults. We are humans. We create all of these things, right? So there could be faults. There could be issues, right? So we need to always make sure you can as well invest in other physical businesses when you make profit from cryptocurrency. When you invest huge amount of money, go to places that are resourceful. Invest your funds in things that are visible, things you know you have access to, things you know that you can equally seek legal guidance, right? So that you know that you have peace of mind. These are businesses running. You don't have to invest in physical businesses. You can buy real estate. You can invest in real estate. You can invest in businesses, physical businesses with your profits from blockchain, from Web3, from crypto, from NFTs. These are ways to secure funds. For me, that's my own view, right? I've invested a couple of money in blockchain, in cryptocurrency, and I've made so much money. So when I do that, what I do is I make sure I pull out my funds. No system is completely reliable. No system is completely reliable.
And that's the problem. So it was so enticing. It was so enticing to just have these APYs. You know, even though they were low versus a lot of decentralized models that promise you 100%, 300%, and so on. You know, it was ideally something that we believed. It came in the form of something that looked realistic, but when you look at the principles of it, it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't sustainable in a bear market.
You're right.
Regardless of the Terra Luna situation, in a bearish market, when the underlying digital assets that you're rewarding people are losing fiat value, you know, how do you keep up with this? You either give them less yield, or you either just shut it off for the longevity of the company. So
it was, you're right. I spoke to someone from Estonia, right, earlier today, and he was telling me about his experience and his losses to Luna. He lost his wife, he lost his kids to cancer. Now he's having a lot of issues. I told them that I'm sorry, but the space is flexible, it's volatile, right? And we know that we are only here to make profit, right? As much as we're here to make profit, let's try to make influence. There are two kinds of influence. You can want to make influence, and unknown to you, your influence will be negative. Just like Voyager, right? They're coming to create something very substantial. They're coming to make impact. But in the long run, their innovation turns out to be bad, right? So when it comes to the blockchain system, the blockchain, the Web3 space, we all need to be extremely careful about investment, about funds, because we know that there is no government that is going to be responsible for the acts we carry out. There is no personality, there is no individual. There are platforms, most of these platforms are not doxed. Even when they are doxed, there is no point in trying to file up cases with the founders, or you don't make anything out of that, man. There's no profit from, because you're gonna waste resources. You're gonna seek your lawyers, spend time going to court. All of these things are waste of time.
I mean, the only time I've actually seen people get some kind of recourse is if they are actually a company. That's about it. Other than that, you know, I mean, like I do marketing for a project, Jigsaw. So we're already looking at, you know, being in compliance, you know, making sure that, you know, we're talking to the right people and making sure that we're in line for the change that's about to come. You know what I mean? We're not trying to we're not trying to get pummeled over by this new regime that's coming, because regardless as to what people may think, regulation is on the way.
That's why the government is intending to regulate the blockchain system. And I feel, in my opinion,
Jasper,
it's not safe to an extent. It's not safe when the government comes to regulate the blockchain. It's not safe because the government does things for themselves. Let's be very realistic, right? Whatever the government does for people is indirectly for the benefit of the government. The taxes imposed is going to be going to the pocket of the government. When they tell you need to start paying with credit card, all those stuffs are not something that really have the interest of the citizens, right? It's actually for the.
Let me tell you.
You understand, right?
I get what you're saying, but let me tell you something, Jasper. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Me and Cordero know a certain individual that deals specifically in compliance, right? Has been groomed by a couple exchanges. Like, he knows exactly what's what and what needs to be done in order to make sure you're on track. Now, one thing that you guys gotta fully understand, let's do the math here. Think about how many rug pulls there's been, how many faulty how many hacks, you know, think about the hacks, think about all this, right? Think about all of this, and imagine how many banks or complaints have been filed with, you know, the federal government or whatever, or how many banks have had oh well, this token stole my money. You ever think to yourself, like, I got a buddy that has Chase, right? Chase, he tried to buy some Ethereum, either via crypto.com or I think it's crypto.com, and Chase wasn't having it. Chase said, we want zero to do with crypto, zero. And you know how that happens? By people calling after they get rugged and calling the bank and saying that they got jacked, like it's a theft of some sort. You know what I'm saying? Which it is essentially. So now the bank has got to foot the bill for that and give you forgiveness because you got screwed. You see what I'm saying? So this is how this is gonna happen. Regulation is, to me personally, I love DeFi. I think it's an excellent thing when it's not misused. So personally, oh, we lost Jasper. Personally, I love DeFi as long as it's not misused. It's supposed to be. It was created for a reason. Mm-hmm. But now it's been exploited and up down left and right. You know what I'm saying? The face of it has been tarnished. So
yeah, sometimes I feel like I lost my way a little bit because when I was younger, I was the type where I mean I don't even trust banks. Mm-hmm. So every paycheck I would cash it and I would just keep it in a safe in my house. And whenever I had to pay bills, I'd go and put whatever I needed in, pay it. It was a little bit of an extra hassle, but I never had to worry about like, oh, I can't have my money or something like that, or I don't have to wait a certain amount of business days to do whatever. And I lost that along the way with all this new technology and everything being digital. And it just reminds me of that. I kind of I feel like I have to go back to that a little bit. And so at this point, I'm buying Bitcoin on Strike. Mm-hmm. I put it on cold storage, and I do it that way. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like me personally, love. I've done pretty well. Done a couple nifty things and on degen plays and things like that. But truth be told, that ain't where it's at. Because of the new regulation that's about to be implemented, people need to start getting into projects like I mean, I know this is a little bit off Voyager. People need to start getting into projects with that are going to be long lasting, that have a vision. Some of these projects ain't gonna last past December.
Yeah, the space is just flooded. It's flooded with.
Dude, there's a new There's a new 8 projects every day, and with some contract made on Fiverr, and we like hell. 3 of us could launch something in the next hour. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. Like, see, you're doing it right, El Toro. You guys got an S corp. You're a legitimate business. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these cats are doing things in DeFi that can't be, that are not allowed to be done because you're mixing apples and oranges. Mm-hmm. So you're not in what? Oh, let me say it loud. Compliance. So now the hammer's gonna come down, and guess when the dust settles, you gonna see who's here. I invest in projects that and hold in projects where I know people, where I know the devs, where I know where this is going. Yeah, man, that's why I love having a show. I get to talk to dev. Hey, Cordero, how many times we sit back here at backstage and talk after the show's over?
Yeah, all the time.
Like damn near like an hour. Mm-hmm. I look, and he ain't the only one I do that with. I talk to all the devs, so I know what's going on. I know before everybody.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with Voyager too is, it was a public company. They've got stock, and all their financials were out there, and it just seemed like such a good play.
I think I lost my way as well. What I didn't trust exchanges. I allowed one of my friends to influence me to actually start benefiting from the platform. For a long time, I'd even have my VGX tokens on Voyager, and because I've been in this space since 2012, and I've seen numerous exchanges fold. But for some reason, I thought the professionalism and the credentials of the board of directory and the leadership of the CEO, I felt that this was a home run. I felt like this was going to be a business that operates for years to come. And I didn't think that I would see a day like this. I didn't calculate this, but it reminds me, when I look back, it reminds me of Mount Gox. It reminds me of Cripsy. It reminds me of BitConnect. And all of those were those flawless honeypots that presented something that looked sustainable. But when it came call crashing down and the curtain was pulled, I'm seeing it for what it is. So, here on now, I spotted out. I'm totally with you when it comes to cold storage and self sovereignty. There, like, I was picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, man. It wasn't worth what I have to lose at this point versus what I've gained in this small time frame of just utilizing the platform and reaping the benefits of the yielding. Regardless that they're still doing the payouts, it's like, what's the point of it? Because the only person I see that's making real money off of it is the person that's receiving and distributing, which is Voyager. And I understand it's to keep these things sustainable for the 22 candidates that are purchasing this, but I am concerned about the customers and how they will be dealt with in the end. You have a platform that has 3 million users, but if they're not whole, how many of them will continue? Some of them will just hold what you give them back in the restructure and just wait to dump it to make themselves whole in years to come, possibly, if that day ever comes. So I'm just very alarmed and very on edge to ever create that trust or that bond with any other business entity from now on. Cold storage is right. So using Strike, I know a lot of Bitcoin maximalists in the space that I'm friends with that use Strike, and I feel that it's very important to bring this up and to make this definitely more of an issue. People need to take charge of their own funds. People need to become their own banks when you're utilizing blockchain technology and no longer use these third-party applications. If this is going to be the repercussions that we are punished for the mismanagement and risk assessment of a small, tight-knit group that are now affecting millions of lives. And it's quite
the pennies in front of a steamroller. That's a good analogy, because I mean, now I've been using the Fold card a little bit, and it worked well for a couple months, and it's still, I mean, the in-person swipes have been flawless, but I've been using PayPal's bill pay with the Fold card, and the past 2 months it worked all right, but now I'm starting to have some issues. And it's one of those things where, like, it's a gamified app where I might get back up to 5% on a purchase or something like that. But when it comes down to it, it's, I'm starting to feel like if I just spend an extra 5-6 hours at work throughout the week and make that time and a half on overtime, that's the same amount of yield as leaving my money sitting somewhere that's not guaranteed. So it's a
better way.
It's unfortunate that you have that trade-off. We're all trying to save time, and because that's our greatest asset.
Exactly.
You're right. That's the only luxury we really have.
Trying to buy back time on our lives.
But at this point, with all the stuff that's happened, it's like, damn, I might as well just go in for an extra half a day or something, and get it that way.
Exactly. It's unfortunate. We try to buy back time on our life, and we look at the amount of time that it takes to get to certain levels and tiers in this game, and just to see it being pulled within seconds with an announcement and an adjustment on the application, so it's definitely a lesson.
Hold on, let's see. Okay, so he does Strike. Okay, Strike. All right, I get it. Yo, you know what? I got to do something real quick. I gotta run ads. So I totally forgot. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages. For final thoughts. Oh, Jasper's back. Hey, Jasper, you want to see something cool?
I'm so sorry, man.
No, you're cool. You're good.
I've been attending spaces for over 4 hours right now on Twitter. So have been unknown to me. My phone battery is low, so I had to just charge for some few minutes. I'm sorry, man.
Okay. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem. I gotta. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere, Jasper. All right, 1 second. All right.
No problem, man.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. What I want to say is I'm actually glad you guys came and spoke about this, because it's very unfortunate for what you guys are going through. It's terrible. I would like to have this be something that we do a couple times. Maybe a series, maybe a mini series, if we can get some more people to speak out about this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I would like that.
Yeah, I would definitely like to do that, because I think it kind of brings light to what real people are dealing with, real circumstances, and how it affects actual lives, man. I know. Hold on. Hey, Voyager. I know you really don't give a damn, about other people, but maybe maybe when you actually hear some of these stories, it'll kind of put a fire under your asses to fix it. That's the way I see it. So, I want to thank you two gentlemen for well, actually all three of y'all for coming today. We keep I say the numbers keep changing. Everybody keeps popping up and popping out. And El Toro, you know how we do. Whatever you need, I'm here.
Appreciate you.
Hey, shout out to the Cowmoonity, give it up for the herd. You heard, I think that wrong button. We get moved. There we go.
Also, can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss, man. I don't know. Probably we need to open a call, probably on Zoom call. So maybe tomorrow we could decide about how we can make things right. There are ways we can, the Lord God makes things work in a better way, right? So let's see how we can come up with great ideas on how to make things better. You get me, right?
Right.
Yeah. So don't panic. I don't want you to feel sober about or weary about the current situation. It's just something that would definitely pass. You understand? So in a couple of weeks, months, we forget about this, and I know it's really gonna be the impact will still be on the heart, but trust me, there's a lot coming in the future. Trust me.
Yeah.
As long as you're alive, as long as you're not in a prison, as long as you are free from issues, right? Losses are actually temporary. So you need to be very strong, man. You need to be very strong. I did some couple of business in Africa and I lost. I think I can say, but close to $50,000, right? But I was calm, man. It was really a painful thing to me. But my wife told me, you don't have to think about this. I went with friends, go to club, drink because I just want to make sure I leave this. I was going crazy, man. But it was less than after all of those moments, I realized I'm not the issue that happened, the situation shouldn't be controlling me. I should control the situation. So the approach I give to the situation determines what happens. Right now, your health matters. Right now, you need to understand that you have a lot of destinies, a lot of people in Pocketcows relying on you. You understand? So you need to understand all of these things. You need to understand that without you, there's a lot of solutions that would never come into play. There are a lot of problems out there that you have been created to solve. There's a lot of things you have to impact, influence positively. So you need to be strong, man. You need to be strong. Maybe early hours of tomorrow. Yeah, maybe early hours of tomorrow. I'm going to chat you up to see how we can hop on a Zoom call or probably a Google Meet. So trust me, I got you, man. I'm very sorry, but you need to be strong. You just have to be strong. All these will pass away.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for turning into Cowmoonity Mondays. Voyager, we on your ass. Period. That part. So hey, peace, love, and crypto. We out of here. Hey.